Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports. We're coming to you tonight from East Brunswick High School for the opening of the 1987 Boys High School Gymnastic Team. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro and I'll be bringing you the action where the boys seek to defend their 1986-87 state championship. And from what we've seen thus far in practice, they should have an easy time of it this year. But anyway, we're ready for the action, and I should point out before we get going that East Brunswick will be competing in a tri-meet. They'll also be competing against Middletown North and Middletown South, two powers from South Jersey. In addition, you may see during the telecast that the girls are also here competing. East Brunswick girls are competing against North Brunswick. Unfortunately, the North Brunswick team is only comprised of 2 athletes, and so we'll be focusing mainly on the boys team tonight. We'll pick up the girls team later on in the season. So it's boys gymnastics here at East Brunswick High School. Stay tuned, we'll be right back with the action. Okay, welcome to tonight's meet. East Brunswick in a tri-meet against Middletown North and Middletown South. So the Bears will be starting on rings, and up first will be Alex Decker. Alex is a junior. As I mentioned, there will be 3 events going on at once. We'll be focusing on the boys, and then specifically the East Brunswick boys. Alex Decker. That's Coach Don Weeder helping him up on the rings. Alex with an uprise, a slight spot by Coach Weeder. Little short on a shoulder stand. In locates. And a flyaway dismount. So, Alex Decker, Jr., starts things off for the Bears. In the background, you may see some competitors on the apparatus. As I said, this is a tri-meet. They're running 3 events at once. In addition, the girls are here, and the girls have a meet against North Brunswick. We'll try to keep you posted on the scores, both the boys and the girls, as the night progresses. Up next for the Bears is Greg Apin. Greg is a senior, having been with the Bears for the past 4 years. Greg and moving into a shoulder stand from Giants. In locates, uprise to an L. And he'll press that into a handstand. Judges looking for the gymnast with a flyaway. Judges are looking for a control of the rings. The gymnast is to show movement through swinging, strength through presses. Must hold a strength position, and most gymnasts will hold what they call an L position. And you'll also see some aspects of tumbling in the rings in terms of their dismounts, where they do flyaways, which usually have included some sort of back summy or twist action. Looking for the score for Greg Apin. I did not get the score on Alex Decker. And 5.6. Aiden Antoine now is up. He is a senior and a captain of the Bear team. And Aiden played a big part in last year's championship season. Aiden starting from a straight body position to a back uprise straddle L. And he'll take that up into a handstand position. Nice strength move. To another L. Forward roll. Straddle press handstand. Not quite. A little trouble with the rings, and a double flyaway with a slight touch from Coach Weeder. We now have Alex Decker's score. His score on the rings was 2.8. See Coach Weeder catching the rings with a little iron, piece of iron that they use now. We're waiting for Aiden Antoine's score. Again, the Bears will be on rings this rotation. They will move to floor in their next rotation. And Aiden's score is a 7.1. Fine job there. Jason Cohen will be up next for the Bears. Jason is only a sophomore. Was with the team last year as a freshman. Jason swings from Giants into a handstand. Nice straight body, good position. And locates back up into the handstand. Here's his strength position, the L. Just a little bit of swing. Trying to muscle it up. And now for his dismount. Double pike back. Very nice. Jason Cohen for the Bears. And the final competitor for East Brunswick will be Steve Christensen. Steve is a junior. And he, along with Greg Apin and Adam Antoine, Jason Cohen, led the Bears to another state championship. We're waiting for the score of Jason Cohen. And it's an 8.2. So a fine score for a fine routine. And now Steve Christensen. Steve will start with a straight body approach. Straddle L. And then pulls it into an L seat. Looks like he missed the planche there. Takes it up into the handstand. Giant swing back to the handstand. A little trouble with the rings. We've seen a lot of that thus far. Back uprise handstand. And another. And a summy in, summy out dismount for Steve Christensen. Steve Christensen was the last Bear to compete here on the rings. And we'll wait for his score. In the meantime, we want to remind you that here on Channel 8, we'll be bringing you both boys and girls gymnastics, boys and girls soccer, and football this year. We have a 14 game or meet alignment. And the score for Steve Christensen is 8.6. And so the Bears complete their rotation on the rings. They'll move to floor exercise as soon as the competitors from Middletown, North and South, finish up on that event.
Next rotation, East Brunswick will be on the floor exercise, Middletown South, pommel horse, and Middletown North, the ring.
East Brunswick girls, as we mentioned, are opening tonight against North Brunswick. Unfortunately, North Brunswick only has 2 competitors. So East Brunswick should open up with a rather large win. And while we have a moment waiting for the boys, we'll pan the gym and watch some of the girls vault from East Brunswick. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of all the gymnasts, but we will bring you the action nonetheless. Okay, we move to the floor, and this is Brian Fox for the Bears, a junior. Press handstand. On floor, the judges are looking for, obviously, tumbling and strength and flexibility, agility. So the men must show all 3 skills in addition to the tumbling. There's a skill. It's rather low by Brian. Brian is a junior. Flip-flop back semi. And he finishes up his routine to start the Bears off on the floor, their second event here tonight. Again, the Bears are going against Middletown North and Middletown South in a tri-meet. And we're waiting for Brian's score. Up next will be Fred Cuesta. Fred is a senior. This will be his first event of the evening. As you might expect, if you're familiar with gymnastics, a little time and it takes in terms of obtaining the scores. And a 6.5 for Brian Fox on floor. And Fred Cuesta is ready to go. Standing back semi to start things off. Series of flip-flops with a back semi. Showing his flexibility, and now here's his strength move, a straddle L press. Straddle handstand, rather, I'm sorry. Had a slight bobble, he retouched the floor, and he did not quite get up to the handstand. That's going to cost him. Front handspring step out to a round off back semi. And Fred will be getting ready now. Here's his balance requirement, side scale. And he'll finish up with a back layout, a slight step on the dismount. Fred Cuesta. As I mentioned at the opening of the show, the Bears are defending their state championship. I believe they're 14th in the last 17 years. And from what I know this season, I don't think there are really going to be many teams that can challenge them, in the state, that is. Coach Don Weeder has once again put together an outstanding team. made up of sophomores, juniors, and a sprinkling of seniors. Greg Apin will be next on the floor for the Bears. And a 5.4 for Fred Cuesta. And we'll look to watch Greg Apin now. Starts off with a front semi, step out. Flip-flops into a back semi. Good flexibility. Russian split. Greg will move into a straddle handstand for his strength move. Just makes it. Front handspring, front semi. And a little trouble coming out of that whip over. Or neck spring. Scale. And Greg's having a little trouble keeping his balance. Yeah, trying to finish it up strong though. Back semi. Looking to hit that handstand position. And he'll get ready for his last pass here on floor. And he finishes with a back semi. Nice routine for Greg Apin. Next up for East Brunswick will be Captain Aiden Antoine. We look around, there's a larger crowd than we've seen in some years here at Gymnastics, but again, a rather sparse crowd. And we can't say enough about the quality of the teams put out here by East Brunswick, and we strongly urge you to come out and watch these fine teams, both the boys and the girls. Some real talent here. And don't forget, the boys are state champions, defending state champions. Here comes Aiden Antoine. 6-6 score for Greg Apin. Aiden starts out with a front semi, step out, round off flip-flops, full twist. Very nice. Into his split. He too will move into a straddle handstand, showing his strength move. Another front semi rather. Ooh. His feet just came out from under him. He needs to pull it together now. He's got a good routine going. Nice back semi. There's the scale. Now he'll try to finish it up strong. Full twist, and he pulls it out. Aiden Antoine. Jason Cohen will be up next for the Bears. As I said, Jason is a sophomore, made the team as a freshman, and did quite well this year, or last year rather, in the state finals. A meet that we covered here on Channel 8. And you might want to mark your calendars now that East Brunswick will host this year's 1987 state championships. Jason Cohen. Full twist. Nice handstand. Whip back to another full. Nice move right into a split. Excellent routine here by Jason Cohen. Front handspring front. Scale. And now he'll look to finish it up with his last pass. And Jason Cohen with a full twist dismount. Excellent routine. And his teammates come out to greet him. Aiden Antoine's score on floor was 8.2. And the last competitor for the Bears on floor will be Steve Christensen. Jason Cohen's score is 9.2. But here's Steve Christensen. Nice front semi step out. Nice and high. Double twist. Ooh, and he just pulled it out. Slight break, but he was able to cover it up fairly well. Minor deduction at that point. Nice high tumbling. Arabian front. Judges like to see that high tumbling. Another front semi, front handspring, front semi. Nice combination. Slight bobble. Scale's a little low. And now Steve will try to finish it up. Double twist. Great way to end the routine. Steve Christensen finishes up for the Bears as they complete the floor X. And they'll move over to the side horse, or pommel horse, as it's more properly known. And we'll wait for Steve's score.
Next rotation for the boys will be Middletown North on the floor exercise, East Brunswick, pommel horse, and Middletown South.
And Steve Christensen's floor X, 8.7. So East Brunswick looking rather super on floor, having had a good start on rings. They'll now move to the pommel horse, which is the most difficult event in the men's Olympic events, and there are 6. The 6 events include floor X, pommel horse, still rings, parallel bars, high bar, and the long horse, or vaulting. As we move to the side horse, the gymnasts are expected to show a variety of moves using all 3 sections of the horse in what they call double leg circles, or with legs together, as well as scissor actions, which can be at any end of the horse or in the middle, as they normally are. This is Joe Capadana, a junior. Joe working single leg cuts. Having a little trouble. And he'll hop off the horse for his dismount. Let me say, if you think it's easy, It's not. Again, it's the toughest event in men's gymnastics. The reason being that you must move up and down the horse without touching the horse. Every time you do touch the horse, it's a deduction. In addition, the judges look for the scissors action and some innovation. This is Greg Apin now. Nice circle action at the end of the horse. Greg now moves into double leg circles, and he's off the horse. He'll have a moment to regain his composure and get back up. Greg circles from the end and moves back into the middle into scissors. Now he'll go into double leg circles, and he tried a side lift or more out. Again, he'll remount for his dismount, and a double loop dismount. Greg Apin. Score for Joe Capadonna was 2.3. Up next for the Bears will be Aiden Antoine. And as you can see, this event goes rather quickly. Aiden's adjusting the pommels. Each gymnast has a certain setting on the pommels that they feel comfortable with. Aiden Antoine jumps into double leg circles to a more. Slight break there, but he moves back in the middle into his scissors. And a hop out, back to the center. And now he'll move for his dismount. And a loop off. Aiden Antoine. Greg Apin's score on horse was 4.7. Jason Cohn is on deck, chalking up. Chalk is used to prevent slipping. It actually absorbs the perspiration on the hands. Jason Cohen. Nice circles, working on a single pommel. Slight break, but he's got it going again. Round more. Single pommel. Tried to back in. Slight problem. Nice high scissors. Double leg circles. Side lift out. Looking for the dismount. He'll remount. And a loop dismount. Jason Cohen started off well. A few slight breaks. Took him out of rhythm. Score for Aiden Antoine was 7.2. The final competitor on the pommel horse will be Steve Christensen. Here we go, Steve Christensen. Steps into circles. A little ahead of himself on trying to back out. Nice single pommel work. Again, side horse is a matter of rhythm. And if you get out of that rhythm, that is if your shoulders are leaning too much, or if your hips are out too far and you can't control them, it throws your timing off. So Steve will remount, try to pick it up. And he'll go into his scissors. Nice high scissors. Nice switch, scissors switch, if you will. Thomas Flair. And the dismount. Steve Christensen for the Bears. And we'll wait for his score. Jason Cohen's score on pommel horse was 6.9. And so the Bears finish up here on the side horse or pommel horse, and they'll next move to the vaulting. And you see Coach Weeder talking to Steve Christensen. Steve a little disappointed with that performance. And his score is 7.9. So the Bears having a little trouble with the horse. Nothing unusual. First meet of the season. You have to expect that on that piece of equipment. And we'll move over to the vaulting, where East Brunswick will have Fred Cuesta as its first performer. And as you can see, some of the Middletown North gymnasts going to the parallel bars, getting their settings. And the Bears will move over to the vaulting. In high school gymnastics, the boys will get one vault, unlike in girls competition, where they will have two vaults and then can take the score from the better vault. We don't have any score yet after the rotations. What we'll do is provide you with a final score as soon as we know it. This is the first meet for East Brunswick as they open their defense of their state championship. We're moving to our fourth event, which is vaulting, and this is Fred Cuesta. Fred with a handspring. Slightly bent knees going over. That'll be a deduction, but not a bad vault. Up next will be Greg Apin. We're waiting for score on Fred. The highest score a gymnast can get is 10, and any deductions are there by subtracted from that 10. And Fred Cuesta comes up with a 7.3. Greg Apin. And Greg trying a handspring full, a little short on it, and that'll be a deduction. Just couldn't get around enough. We'll see how they score it. Though you can't see it, there's a lot of activity in the gym this evening. We have both girls and guys competing. Okay, score for Greg Apin is 8.3. So that deduction didn't hurt him too bad. Aiden Antoine now will be up. As I mentioned, the boys get only one vault, one shot at it. Aiden with the handspring full, not a bad vault. A little short on the dismount, but came around with the twist nicely. And Steve Christensen will be next, followed by Jason Cohen. And Aiden's score, .8. Steve Christensen. Another handspring full. Much like Aiden's, a little short on the dismount, minor form break, but again, a solid vault. Handspring full seems to be the popular vault thus far for the Bears. And Steve's vault is an 8.9. And the last up is beautiful. I didn't even get a chance to announce him. Jason Cohen with a handspring front right to his feet. Nice vault. He should score well with that. So quick, I almost missed it. We're waiting for Jason's score. And it's 9.1. And so the Bears finish vaulting in good style and move on to the parallel bars. And they'll have a little break as we await the results and the competition of the Middletown North and South team. So while we have a moment, we might want to look at the East Brunswick girls as they work on the beam. There'll be some time delay before we can get to the P-bars with the boys, or parallel bars. As I said, East Brunswick girls are going against North Brunswick. And sad to say, North Brunswick only has 2 competitors on their team, which is hard to believe when you consider the size of North Brunswick. But nonetheless, these girls are here representing their school and deserve a lot of credit. It's got to be tough when there are only 2 of you representing a team, a school, because you know going in that you've lost the meet. So you really can only work to improve yourself and your own scores. Anyway, we'll watch a competitor from North Brunswick. And I don't know what the delay is at the moment. Oh, waiting for the judges, as usual. As I mentioned before, the Bears will be defending their championship this year here at East Brunswick High School in the state finals, which will be held, I believe, in November. And so we suggest that you mark your calendar, watch Channel 8, and if you have an opportunity to come out to see this fine team, to please do so. I think you'll be pleasantly entertained. We are covering the boys' gymnastic meet tonight. East Brunswick against Middletown North and South. East Brunswick will be moving to the parallel bars next. But first we need to wait for the teams from Middletown North and South to finish up on the P-bars. So in the meantime, we're waiting for one of the competitors from North Brunswick High School to jump up onto the beam. And so in the interim, we'll watch this young lady. And then as soon as the East Brunswick boys begin their parallel bar routines, we will switch over. Just as the side horse is the toughest event for men, the beam is probably the toughest event for the women. And we're just about ready now for the boys on the parallel bars. Alex Decker will be first off for the Bears. As our camera pans the gym, you can see the number of athletes moving about. You see Peter being assisted by Aiden Antoine in setting the P-bars. Each gymnast sets the bars according to generally their shoulder width and where they feel comfortable. Some gymnasts do like to work the bars wider than normal. Others prefer them in close. On the parallel bars, the judges are looking for swinging movements as well as strength movements, both above and below the bar. So Alex Decker will lead it off for the Bears. Alex with the glide kip, he had a touch, so that'll be a deduction. And to an uprise. Shoulder roll. He'll hold the L. Shoulder stand. And roll out. And he'll dismount. Alex Decker. Robert Marciano will be up. Robert is a junior. This is the first time we'll see him tonight. Rob just working parallel bars. You can see Robert wants the use of the Reuter board, or beep board if you will. They are allowed to do that. And that's a way of mounting the apparatus. Waiting for a score for Alex Decker. In the meantime, this is Robert Marciano. Robert, a shoulder stand. To another. And a dismount. Alex Decker's score was 1.9 on the parallel bars. Up next for the Bears will be Aiden Antoine. In the background, you see one of the gymnasts from Middletown South, I believe. And Robert Marciano's score on P-bars is 2.2. Aiden Antoine. we'll start off from the Reuter board. Peach basket. Uprise. To the handstand. Stretches it out nicely. And that's a little trouble there. Straddle cut catch. And watch this move. Straddle L on one bar. Very nice. Up to the handstand. Excellent. Pirouette. And a back semi-off in pike position. Nice routine for Aiden Antoine. And Jason Cohen, I believe, will be up for the Bears. Aiden's score was 7.9 as we move to Jason Cohen. Peach basket to a glide, uprise, little break there. Straddle cut, straddle L. Up to the handstand, walked a little bit on his hands. Pirouette. Getting set for his dismount. Double back off, and Coach Weeder had to step in. Slight deduction. Jason Cohen, he's throwing it all tonight. And the final competitor for the Bears will be Steve Christensen. Okay, Steve. Peach basket, uprise. And that's a circle like you see on Side Horse. Just caught his feet on it. Unless he pulls it out. Nice handstand. A little trouble there. To the pirouette. And a reverse back semi. Looked like a semi with a half. Steve, Jason Cohen's score, by the way, on P-Bars was 8.7. And that'll finish it off for the Bears on the parallel bars. And we'll wait for Steve's score, Steve Christensen. The last event for East Brunswick will be the high bar. And Steve Christensen finishes up with an 8.5 for that parallel bar routine. And we'll move now to the high bar. There, Greg Apin will be starting it off for East Brunswick.
Next rotation for the boys, Middletown South will be bolting, Middletown North on the parallel bars, and East Brunswick on the high bar.
You'll soon see Coach Don Weeder moving into the picture. He'll be there to spot his team on the high bar. And again, we kind of have a break in the action as we await the next rotation. And that's Greg Apin coming into the picture now. He'll chalk up. He'll be the first competitor for the Bears on the high bar. You can see that Greg is putting on the chalk. In addition, he has grips on, hand grips. Reduces the friction against the hands on the bar. And they even wear sweatbands under the hand grips around the wrist to prevent any ripping or tearing action against the wrist itself. You can imagine the force that is placed on the hands in any given high bar routine. So the gymnast tries to take every precaution that he can. High bar is a very dangerous event, to say the least, but one of the most exciting events in men's gymnastics. And Greg Apin will start it off for us. Greg with a vault catch, very nice. Little trouble. One thing that our viewers should keep note of, and that is the hand positions that the gymnast will use throughout a high bar routine. Constantly gripping, re-gripping. Hands together, hands differently. Greg pulling it together nicely for a flyaway after a rather slow start. And we'll see what kind of score he gets. Up next is Aiden Antoine. Aiden having a good meet tonight thus far. I'm sure he'd like to finish it off with a nice high bar routine. And a score of 4.1 for Greg Apin, rather. Aiden Antoine's it. Jason Cohen is on deck. Aiden starting off nicely. Nice giants. Reverse giants. Nice pirouette. Notice again the hands, the change. In fact, there's a move they call the cross change on a high bar. And a double flyaway. Aiden Antoine with a nice routine. Yeah, just slight point deduction for that dismount, but otherwise very nice. Swinging the bars very well. Good form, good execution. And now Jason Cohen. Jason is only a sophomore, and if you've been watching tonight, You can see the immense potential this young man has. There's no reason why when Coach Weeder talks about him, he smiles. Full turn catch. And Jason moving along. Double flyway layout position. Excellent dismount. Jason Cohen. He put it all together tonight, having an outstanding meet. That's a crowd pleaser and a nice show of sportsmanship. The Middletown South coach also congratulating Jason. Aiden Antoine's score for his high bar routine was 8.4. And Steve Christensen. I'll ask Dave, our cameraman, to kind of zoom in on the hands for just a moment for Steve. Look at that hand position, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing giants with a reverse grip. Very difficult, very dangerous. Steve Christensen moving around just beautifully. Nice pirouette there. Setting up for his dismount. Toe on. Here it is. Nice high flyaway. Very nice. Steve Christensen. And Jason Cohen, who you just see in the picture now, had a 9.4 on the high bar. And we'll wait to see what Steve Christensen's score is.
Stolen up yesterday.
Girls will be rotating to the far side with Laura McCartney, North Brunswick.
Steve Christensen's score, 9.3. So he and Jason Cohen put on an exhibition here on the high bar. And that completes East Brunswick's last event, that being the high bar. And East Brunswick finishes up this meet, and we'll have the score for you in just a moment. Well, we have the results of tonight's meet. It was East Brunswick 151, Middletown North 50.10, and Middletown South 111.70. And so East Brunswick clearly dominated tonight's opening meet. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome Coach Don Weeder. Coach, congratulations on your first win of the season.
Thank you.
Your assessment as to how the team did tonight.
Well, I think we had a super opening. We scored 151, and that's the best that we've ever scored and the best in the state so far this year. And hopefully, I think it's going to be close to a national record. And so
Yeah.
It was a great opening.
Yeah, I guess it was the Middletown South coach came up to me after we paused for a moment and said that, you know, he says, I'm not sure, he says, but I think East Brunswick just broke the national scoring record for a team. So.
Well, I'm not sure what it is. We're going to have to research it and find out exactly who holds it, and hopefully we'll have a chance to get it.
Coach, what'd you like out here tonight, and what are you a little concerned about, if anything?
Well, I think, you know, we opened up pretty strongly on floor, and we have a few weaknesses there, but that's going to improve as we go along. We were a little rough on pommel horse, but that can be expected sometimes.
Yeah.
And some of our boys weren't up to par, but they'll be there by the end of the season.
What can you say about your big three there, and that is Aiden Antoine, Steve Christensen, and Jason Cohen?
Well, they're super all-arounders, so and they love to compete, and so we're going to have a good season with them.
Any fear of ever a letdown because of maybe the competition you're facing and the kids just can't get up for their meet? Or
I think once in a while they experience that, but a lot of times they just try to go out there and do the best they can for themselves and beat their teammates, and that makes it good.
so that inner competition really works.
Yeah, one guy gets a tough dismount and they want to add to it, and so they really play out a trick when it comes to that.
Well, I'll tell you, what an impressive start. 151 points. No one was even close to you, quite honestly. And Middletown South is no slouch team, but you guys are just head and shoulders above.
Yeah, well, you know, these boys have been in the sport a long time,
Yeah.
and they put their time in, and now they're casting in on it.
Well, Don, I have no doubts that we're going to see you again here in November for the state finals and again receiving the state championship trophy. So I want to wish you luck, and we'll be following you throughout the season.
Thank you. We're looking forward to that state final meet and hopefully even pumping the score up a little bit more.
Okay, Coach Don Weeder, coach of the East Brunswick High School Bears, where the Bears tonight opened up their season with a stunning 151-point scoring total. And again, we may be, and you may have witnessed a national scoring record. We don't know. But anyway, East Brunswick opens up 1-0 on the season and a fine start on their way to another state championship. So for Don Weeder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying good night and thanks for being with us.